I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Long Beach Community College District Board of Trustees meetings for March 11, 2014. If everyone could please stand, and I'm going to ask Trustee Bowen to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, please stand and join us in honoring the flag of our country. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mark. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll of the Board of Trustees.
President Kellogg,
Here.
Vice President Clark,
Here.
Member Bowen,
Here.
Member Uranga,
Present.
and Student Trustee Donato.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First item of business, approval of the minutes for the meeting of February 25th, 2014. Are there any corrections, additions that need to be made at this time by members of the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for February 25th. Motion by Trustee Clark.
Second.
Second by Trustee Uranga. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll.
I started to say I just did. This is for the vote.
Correct.
President Kellogg,
Aye.
Vice President Clark.
Aye.
Member Bowen,
Aye.
Member Uranga.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. And so people understand we're doing this because of changes with the Brown Act open meetings, where we have to take a vote on every item now, even on the approval of minutes. There is no public hearings. Introductions, special announcements, presentations. President Superintendent Oakley, do you have any?
This time.
None? Other members this time? Seeing none? Moving along. Ordering of the agenda. There is no items that are going to be moved unless I am corrected at this time. Seeing none, the agenda will remain as it is. Public comments on agenda items. Or, I'm sorry. No, public comments on agenda items. Madam Secretary, do we have any items on agenda items?
There are none.
None? Okay. I have none in front of me. Very good. We'll move to the first item, 1.1, Board of Trustees, Revised Regulations 1001, Development of Policy Administrative Regulations. This is an informational item. President Oakley, do we have any comments on this?
Yes, this item just makes some updates to Regulation 1001. It was previously revised and adopted by the board in February of 2009. There's been, the board policy was adopted in 2009. So the regulation, it's an informative item. There's been some updates to the admin regs just to clean up the language to reflect the positions and the different committees that we currently have now in existence, and to remove some of the old language that no longer applies.
Very good. Questions, members of the board? Student trustee, are you waving to me? Okay.
Yeah. On this item, at the very end of the regulation, it says that it actually scrolls that some administrative regulation must be approved because of legal requirements, and others may be approved at the discretion of the board, which this will kind of take the possibility of the Board of Trustees to vote for some regulations.
This is old language. The board is not required to take action on regulations. It is required to take action on board policy. And so the board does not take action on administrative regulations. So this was cleaning up the language in this particular regulation, which did not reflect the practice of the board.
All right, other questions? This is an informational item, so it does not require a vote. There's no other questions at this time. Then we'll move on to the consent calendar. Items to be removed from the consent calendar. If none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar in its entirety.
Move approval.
Motion by Trustee Bowen, second by Trustee Clark. Any questions, comments on this item? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Kellogg,
Aye.
Vice President Clark,
Aye.
Member Bowen,
Aye.
Member Uronga.
Aye. Consent calendar carries. Next, item 5.3, Human Resources Revised Regulations 3019. Again, this is an informational item. President Oakley?
Yes, for a quick update, I turn it over to Vice President Delgado.
Yes, President Kellogg, this is a revision, an update to the administrative regulation on nepotism. There are a couple things that we are changing here or revising. One is to include the language of domestic partnership, and then also to ensure that we have alignment with our ethics policy. We've added language under 3019.3 that relates to ensuring that employees who do have close relatives are prohibited from making or influencing personnel decisions.
All right, very good. Members of the board, Chair recognizes Trustee Uranga.
Many years ago, when I first started here, we had an issue with a member of the board who had a relative working for the college, and the issue went to the court. Fortunately, the college won on that case. However, there is no policy in here to state that that will not happen again. I'm thinking that perhaps we should include some kind of language that may reflect that if you are a member of the board as well, that would have a relative working for the district.
We can certainly look into that
I would,
and look to see where that would apply.
Yeah, you might want to look into other boards across the state and see if what they have in terms of that, because I know it was a very big issue back in the day for us, and we haven't corrected that in our board policies. So I would suggest that we look at that. If it's necessary, fine. If it's not, well, fine too. But let's look into it.
Okay, very well.
Thank you.
And if it's my understanding, because I replaced that trustee, that item, I believe when it was before the state Supreme Court, there is some language somewhere, because the state Supreme Court upheld the language wherever that language is. And so potentially if it needs to be at our level with the college, maybe that's the step that needs to be done. But I know there is some language regarding this in a broader sense, because that's what the decision of the state Supreme Court ruled on.
I'll be happy to research
All right,
that.
very good. Other questions? None? Moving on, Academic Senate, no item, no report, no Academic Senate President, so that's an easy one. Superintendent President, this is an informational item.
Yes, thank you, Board President Kellogg. In keeping with our tradition of bringing items to the board relating to student success and improving the leadership capacity of our student leaders, I know many of you had questions recently regarding the leadership activities that we have going on and how those relate to our current student leader groups. So I've asked Vice President Peterson to bring his team here and prepare a presentation to inform the board on what we're doing. And of course, we have many of our ASB leaders here today. They're hard to miss because they look pretty good. As a matter of fact, they look great in those shirts. I don't have one. But nonetheless, let me turn it over to Dr. Peterson.
I can fix that. I'm honored tonight to introduce, I believe, my Dean of Student Affairs, Kinesiology, Athletic, and Health Education, Connie Sears, and her team to present on all of the work that we do over the year on student leadership.
Big team takes a while. Good evening, Board President Kellogg, President Oakley, members of the board, staff, faculty, and all in the audience. Thank you for having the Office of Student Life here this evening, and thank you for your comments and thoughts regarding participating in several of the leadership activities as of late. We would like to share with you this evening many of the programs, events, and leadership activities presently happening and planned in the area of student life. Our presentation tonight is a collaborative effort between some of our student leaders and our student life team. Once again, we were glad to hear your kind comments about the opportunities for involvement with our student leaders, and it is our hope this evening's presentation will highlight many more of those opportunities to participate in our leadership development program.
The goal of our Student Life Leadership Program is to help students develop leadership and life skills that will be useful not only in their career choice, but throughout their life. It is a program that uses a three-tiered framework to provide opportunities for students to develop leadership skills through positive social, cultural, and intellectual opportunities. Tier 1 introduces the student to leadership as students participate in clubs, organizations, and volunteer activities. Tier 2 develops individual leadership skills through attendance at retreats, workshops, and conferences. Tier 3 provides a variety of opportunities to apply those learned skills as they participate in ASB, student council offices, LBCC shared governance committees, and statewide organizations.
Tier 1. Students get involved as the first step in their leadership development by participating in the activities and events organized by clubs, organizations, and volunteer activities and events. This is often their first introduction to student life leadership programs and opportunities they provide. We know that student participation and engagement in a positive student life activities not only has a positive outcome on self-esteem, but also on their student success. I would like to introduce to you Shantice Laurent, our LAC Club Senate President.
Sorry guys, I'm a little short here. An example of introduction to leadership is our Join a Club Day, the first step to organizing a club or organization. Join a Club Day is designed to engage students in our student life program and provide club officers an opportunity to learn marketing skills. It also gives the campus community an introduction to the variety of clubs and organizations available. Typically, students form and join clubs and organizations in their specific interests. This also allows for students to meet and develop relationships with other students who share their interests. Students participate in college on a holistic level. LAC has between 50 to 55 charter clubs each semester. Examples are social services clubs such as Our Ladies of Isis, a social service club focused on helping the community, or Men of Awesome, focused on empowering young men. Academic clubs includes Alpha Gamma Sigma, focused on academic excellence and service learning projects. Other examples include recreational clubs, such as the cycling club, or a political club like the community engagement club, and special interest clubs like the anime club. PCC campus has between 8 to 10 clubs chartered each semester. Some examples are Sankofa, DAP, or other known as Development of Afro-American Professionals, Horticulture, Human Services, Solid Start, a club for former foster youth, Open Doors, Puente, and Metal Fabrication. Our active volunteer program provides service opportunities for students to help others on campus and in the community. Here you see students involved in the Cards for Kids project. This project created cards for the young cancer patients in the cancer unit of Miller's Children's Hospital. In the fall, students' volunteers' involvement included walk monitors for the Todd Cancer Center, Breast and Ovarian Cancer Walk, Long Beach Marathon, beach cleanup, tree planting, toy drives, and Coaches versus Cancer event. Two of our upcoming events are Ronald McDonald House Walk for Kids on April 6th and Cesar Chavez Week of Service. Last week, the LBCC Pacific Coast campus set a new school record of participation and donations during the Red Cross blood drive. 36 units of bloods were collected. That number represents the 108 lives that would be saved thanks to this outstanding effort. Being passed out now are 108 Lifesavers candies, representing the 108 lives that will be saved due to this record-breaking effort. LBCC will be receiving the Platinum Award for 40% growth since last year, the largest award from the Red Cross.
Tier 2. Tier 2 of our leadership program develops personal, individual leadership skills through conferences, workshops, one-on-one mentoring, and student life staff. We have our president. Thank you, Marco. I would now like to introduce to you our Pacific Coast Campus Student Council Chair, Suzanne Perucci.
Our cultural fair councils are located on each campus. They promote events that celebrate the diversity on our campus and the community. In this slide, you will see that last semester for Unity Day, the YMCA Sexual Assault Crisis Agency displayed the Clothesline Project to raise awareness about the impact of violence against women. Other examples of events in the first month of this semester are Charlotte O'Neill, an inspiring presentation on African culture and her history. The House of Blues event highlighting the history of the blues. Forgotten Images displaying historical and cultural African American significant books, art, music, and artifacts from the 1800s present, and also women's history. Our Club Senate serves as the overall conduit for information to be shared between clubs and advisors. Each club sends their club senator to meet weekly with other senators. This provides opportunities for a collaboration of current and upcoming events, members to receive support and learn skills for club management and chartering their club, information to be shared between clubs and advisors, the latest volunteer opportunities, and clubs to meet, network, and share experiences and ideas for future programs and event development. The Beverly O'Neill Leadership Conference is one of our capstone leadership events. This yearly conference includes workshops on financial literacy, cross-cultural communication, community organizing, career development, and transfer success stories. Last year, students heard Dr. Daryl Foster, Dean of Student Affairs at Rio Hondo Community College. Daryl shared his career path and leadership experiences. I now want to introduce our ASB President, Marco Mendoza.
Conference Mentor Mixer. The mentors included our Board of Trustees President, Jeff Kellogg, individuals from various LBCC departments, community partners, and Leadership Long Beach alumni and current participants. Students have an opportunity to interview prospective mentors about their leadership philosophy, career path, and network for the future. The comments from last year included, "This opened my eyes to how jobs are. This helped me meet interesting and successful people that helped me understand the field of interests. This provided me with networking skills and provided me with contacts for possible internships. I now know how to be a productive person in my community. I was able to talk to a mentor in the human services field, and I was able to get more info on what I should do with my psychology degree. I also learned valuable skills, life skills. This year, a new component will be the inclusion of the management team, who have been participating in a management leadership development program in student services. This year, the goal for the ASB retreat were team building and increasing our understanding of parliamentary procedures, the Brown Act, and communication as well. On day one, Trustee Kellogg, Trustee Uranga, and Trustee Otto joined us to share their perspectives on their leadership philosophy and career path. The trustees also participated in a candid discussion, answering questions on a variety of topics related to the current and future state of the college. As part of our retreat day, students were invited to participate in the annual State of the College luncheon. On day two, Renee Castro, a community organizer, facilitated a day-long workshop in which students participated in a multicultural communication simulation activity. Additionally, we worked on prioritizing our spring semester events.
The third tier in our leadership program provides opportunities to use the leadership skills they develop in Tier 1 and Tier 2, such as serving as an officer or representative on the ASB Cabinet, Student Council, Cultural Affairs Councils, or Club Senate. We have 3 of our student leaders actively involved in statewide community college student organizations. Suzanne Perucci is the Student Senate of California Community Colleges, or SSCCC, Director of Communications of the Spectrum. Andrea Donato is the Director of External Affairs and the Chair of the Legislative Committee of the California Community Colleges Association of Student Trustees. Lokelani Hunt is our Long Beach City College delegate to the SSCCC. I would like to introduce Lokelani Hunt, the ASB representative of Legislative Affairs.
Students learn how to run clubs and organizations using the Robert Rules of Order and the Brown Act. We represent our student body by avidly negotiating ASB budget, exploring and debating constitutional and legislative issues as an elected body. 20 students currently participate in shared governance of LBCC, as well as our very own. We have the Auxiliary Board, the Budget Committee, the Planning Committee, the Hiring Screening Committee, which Shantice and I are avidly participating in, the Equity, the Academic Senate, and the Accreditation Committee, which Marco Mendoza, our president, and Suzanne Perucci is also participating in. The John Flippa Leadership Academy is the newest capstone in our Student Life Leadership Program. This 2-semester, 10-month academy will be bi-weekly. It'll be from August 2014 to May 2015. This is modeled after the Successful Leadership Long Beach Institute. This includes leadership principles, serving our campus and the community, and campus and community leaders are encouraged to be speakers and mentors. Individual leadership plans, which are our goals. Thank you.
So, and thank you once again for this opportunity, and we hope that you will join us as you are an integral part of our leadership program. And we would like to answer any questions that you might have.
All right, thank you. President Oakley, do you have a comment you were going to make?
Well, the only comment I would make at this point is I just want to congratulate Dr. Peterson and his team, as well as our ASB leadership and our student trustee for really working hard on this issue of student leadership. It is an issue that we've talked a lot about over the last year, and I think we are well on our way to developing a really great program. And as you can see from the student leaders that are being developed right now, we have a very bright future in our communities, given the great talent that's coming out of our leadership program. So thank you to your team and to you, Dr. Peterson.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I know we had a chance to speak before the group, take questions, which we thought, I think going in, some of you were concerned about, some of you may have had concern if we could walk and chew gum at the same time, but also there was concern about hard questions. And I think at that meeting, we realized we deal with hard questions all the time, and that's what we want to have, because quite frankly, we have answers to questions. You may not agree with the answers, but nonetheless, I enjoyed that session, and I would love to have other opportunities. I appreciate the fact this is from a year or so ago when the board was looking at how to do a better job to help work with the students in developing student leadership, and we felt there was a void there, and we're very pleased to see how this whole program is starting to work with people and give individuals the opportunity to learn about, and also to possibly grow into a leadership position in the future. So the fact that a lot of these committees, students' involvement is critical. I know with the accreditation committee, I appreciate the 2 students that are involved with that. that I also am involved with. So I think it's great. I'm pleased to see us moving forward and whatever we can do to help in the future. There is one thing that I did in the past. It was when I was on the Long Beach City Council. It was really geared towards the level of the student. I was dealing with, in one case, elementary school students. Another case was middle school. And the whole point was, and I know there's going to be some type of curriculum the same for a level of students where you are at. And that was where I was essentially running mock council meetings and putting people in and out of positions and forcing them to see what it's like to be an elected official and suddenly you have issues thrown at you. It was very worthwhile. I enjoyed it. I throw that out. If you ever want me to come and work on some type of curriculum like that, I'd be more than happy to, because it was a good session for everyone involved, and I think some people walked away with an appreciation of elected official is much more than just showing up on the meeting night. It goes much beyond that. So whatever we can do to help, but great job. Keep up the good work, and hopefully you're getting as much out of it as we hope you are. Other members of the board? Chair recognizes Trustee Aranga.
It's also important to note, and I was looking for it in here and I didn't see it, is also building teamwork. As a member of a 5-member board, I have 4 other individuals that I have to deal with. Jeff, when he was a member of the city council, he had 9 other individuals that he had to deal with. And I'm sure that in your ASB board, you have big numbers of individuals that you have to work with. So team building should also be a very key component in developing leadership, because you can't get anything done if you're the lone vote all the time. If you're the one who's always dissenting, or you're the one who always thinks is right. It takes compromise, it takes working together, it takes being able to adapt and change and be able to work with others that makes leadership strong. Because there's no reason, there's no way that a person can be a leader and when they turn around, there's nobody behind there, there's nobody there. And the only way you get that is by being able to be that person that other people can come to know that you have an ear, that you listen, and that you will work with others in a cooperative sense. So my recommendation would be to include a component in there of teamwork building, so that the others can also know that even if you're an A personality or a B or whatever, that it still takes a cooperative effort to make things happen.
I don't know where you're going with it. When you said I have to deal with Jeff, I don't know where you're going to go with that for a minute. I do have to deal with Jeff. I like to think of it as an opportunity to work with fine mentors.
I just add, I thought it was a very excellent report. Wish you well.
Thank you. Other items? Student trustee.
Thank you. I just want to acknowledge the work that my fellow student leaders are that are here and the ones that are not here, because I chair meetings with them, and I know how passionate they are in certain issues. And even though we have gone through many problems, we are looking always the way to get together again as a team. And thank you very much for your work with the community and with the students in Long Beach City College.
Thank you. No other questions, comments at this time? Thank you all very much. Feel free to stay for the rest of the meeting if you so desire, or not. Moving on, academic affairs, no item, no report. Next item, 11.1, student support services, tentative 2014-15 academic calendar, first reading. Are there any questions on this, members of the board? Then I just notify it is first reading, and that is all action I need to do at this time. Moving on to the next item, we have the ASB President Report, informational.
Yes, thank you, Board President Kellogg, and we'll ask our ASB President Marco Mendoza to come on up.
Welcome again.
Thank you again for having me. Good evening, Superintendent President Oakley, Board President Kellogg, and members of the board. On February 27th, from 11 to 1 p.m., the PCC hosted the House of Blues School Blue House, an event aimed at highlighting the contributions of African American blues musicians and celebrating Black History Month. At this event, the neighboring elementary schools were invited to come and enjoy the festivities. It was a great success, having had 600 elementary school students attend. On Thursday, March 13th, the LAC will host a Celebrate You event and resource fair from 10 to 1, and the PCC will host a similar event on Wednesday, March 19th, from 11 to 1. Also, a creative writing essay contest will be held at this campus on Monday, March 24th. This week, during our ASB meeting, we appointed a new student by the name of Bree Larry to fill the vacancy in the vice president position. We look forward to having her join our cabinet and are excited to see what she can contribute to the team. And lastly, we, the ASB cabinet, will be participating in a 30-minute beach cleanup with the community action team this Saturday morning at 10 a.m., not 10 p.m., at 10 a.m. So that is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, 12.6. This is new regulations regarding payroll functions. This is an informational item only. President Oakley?
Yes, for some background, I'll turn it over to Vice President Gable.
Thank you. This is a completely new regulation something that the Los Angeles County Office of Education has requested that we put into place. You know, we have procedures in place for payroll, and we have a over 200-page document on how we process our payroll, but the County Office of Education requested that we put something into an administrative regulation, so that's what we have done here.
All right, questions, members of the board at this time regarding payroll functions? None? It's informational item only, so we move forward. No items, no reports for Pacific Coast Campus or College Economic Development, correct? Then we're now to the items of reports and communications. Academic Senate President. All right, thank you. Superintendent President report, please.
Yes, thank you, Board President Kellogg. Just have a few items. First of all, I want to thank the James Irvine Foundation for recognizing Long Beach City College, specifically for the work around Promise Pathways. I had the pleasure of participating in their Leadership Award ceremony, California Leadership Award ceremony in Sacramento a while back. It was a very great experience, and was proud to represent the college, its faculty, and its staff for all the work that they've done, and to be recognized by an organization that does so much work on behalf of the state of California to promote practices that lead to a better California, and to be recognized as one of, I believe, the only public education institution to ever be recognized is a great honor for the college. So I want to thank the faculty and the staff, particularly the faculty and staff in the Math and English Department, the Institutional Research Office, Dr. Peterson and his team, Mark Taylor and his team, for all the work that they've done to make Promise Pathways what it is today, and the many others who have participated in the Promise Pathways Coordinating Group, and particularly around the alternative placement model, which has gotten so much attention lately. So I just want to thank everybody. You should feel very proud that the Irvine Foundation recognized your work in the way that it did. On the heels of that, we've received many requests for information about what we're doing. I continue to spend a good part of my week talking about the Long Beach College Promise, our alternative placement model, and the work that we do here at Long Beach City College. I'll be participating with Chris Steinhauser, the superintendent of Long Beach Unified, and Don Parra, the president of Cal State Long Beach, in a College Access Affinity Group webinar. This is sponsored by the United States Department of Education, the Assistant Secretary to the Secretary of Education sponsors this, Greg Darnier, and he has asked us to give this webinar for participants across the country to talk about the college promise and the model that we have here in Long Beach. So we're very honored to be asked by the Assistant Secretary to do that for all of his stakeholders across the country. And in particular, you know, I want to thank our foundation and its executive director, Jenny Baxter, for the work that they continue to do to fund our students. That is also a big piece of this. And people are always asking me how we get that piece done, how we offer a free semester of tuition. And of course, all that thanks goes to Dr. Jenny Baxter and the Long Beach City College Foundation. Next, I want to congratulate, although sadly I was hoping that we'd get to a state championship. We just fell just shy with the women's basketball team, but they had a fantastic year. They, of course, lost their last game. Ventura, I want to thank the Viking newspaper Sports, because I follow the game on Twitter, as I couldn't be there. But they fell just short, but they had a fantastic year. I want to thank the coaching staff and our athletic director for a superb year. They made us very, very proud. The men's basketball team as well entered the playoffs, had a great season as well. So I want to thank that entire coaching staff for doing a great job for our students and giving us something to celebrate. Finally, there was an issue that came up at the last board meeting that I wanted to get back to and give the board an update. There was a question about the student participation fee that came up. I think our student trustee raised it. And I wanted to ask Dr. Peterson to give us an update on what exactly is going on with the student participation fee. So, Dr. Peterson.
So Education Code Section 76060.5 allows for a community college to have a student representation fee of $1 if approved by students in a vote of where it's approved by 2/3 of the voters or more, and where the number of students voting is equal to or more than the last 3 general elections that occurred. So our Associated Student Body is very interested in moving this forward and implementing a student representation fee. We recently went out and did a vote. While we had general support, only 60% of the students in the election supported it, so we didn't meet the Education Code requirement of 2/3. So we will be working to do that again, to go out again in that direction. So once we have met the Education Code requirements, then we will bring that to this board for approval.
Does that conclude your report, President Oakley?
That's all I have.
Very good. Student trustee.
Good afternoon, members of the board, the students, citizens. I do want to comment on the representation fee. As ASB, we have started the communication again to whether to bring it to a special election so we can have it as soon as possible, and we can start having the representation fee to starting in the summer, which will be my goal for this semester. So I would like to start by introducing a bill that I am really passionate about it, mostly because it will benefit the students, and is the Senate Bill 1017, which will tax oil companies for more revenue for education. I have passed to all of you the literature on this. I think this bill in particular, which had been created by students, will highly benefit every college here and in California. So I encourage you to take a look on that and to see whether in the future we may want to support this as board. It's kind of just a recommendation. Also, I would like to bring to the attention to the board a couple of situations that have been brought to me by some students, mostly in the trade department. Although I really appreciate the efforts that the student life department have been doing to better the situation of many students. And I do appreciate the meetings I have had with Connie Sears, with Dr. Peterson, and with Anita Gibbons. There's an issue that was brought to my attention. It was the arrest of one of our alumni, which was arrested, I guess, during one of the open meetings. And this kind of created a lot of fear among certain students because this particular alumni was really politically involved in issues that concern LBCC. Many students are fear, mostly at PCC campus, that if they speak out, they will be retaliated against. This issue in particular have brought this fear up again, and I would like just to call the attention. I don't know the whole insides of this, but that's some problem that we have, that this fear is something that we have at PCC that I would like to have more work on that. Even if you are in opposition or in favor, you always should feel that you can speak out. So I will appreciate maybe this administration to take a look on that. And that's the end of my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Members of the board at this time wishing to speak. President Oakley already took mine. Congratulations to women's basketball for their season, and also to President Oakley for accepting the award on behalf of the college, but also being at the forefront with the Riverfront Foundation Award. And we are that is rare for a community college or any college. So congratulations to you personally and to the college. Other members of the board at this time? Future reports? None? Final? We do have some that are scheduled for the...
We have regularly scheduled reports, but no new reports have been introduced.
Correct. Final item, public comment on non-agenda items. We have a student from Cerritos City College. It's just Cerritos College. Cerritos College expressing concern for LBCC students. Jennifer, is it O-V-A-L-L-E? There we go.
Hello there, fellow Long Beach City College Board of Trustees. My name is Jennifer Ovalle, and I am coming here from Cerritos Community College on behalf of, I'm also a senator on my campus. And really, I'm coming here to express concern for LBC students and for pretty much how they expressed to me how they don't feel safe on their campuses. A few weeks ago, our school, my colleagues and I gave a presentation on the controversial bill AB 955. And we said, oh, well, let's do our research, right? So we said, well, we're going to go to Long Beach City College and we're going to research this bill and we're going to see how the students on that campus feel. So we went to Long Beach City College, we went to PCC to question students about the bill and about what they thought about the law and the implementation on their campus. And we actually came out feeling pretty shocked and surprised and really grateful to be on our campus and to not feel the fear that students are feeling here. What we got out of this was students telling us that they did not want to be on camera to be interviewed because they were afraid of being targets on their very own campuses. To me, this is very unacceptable. We are in higher institutions of learning to become critical thinkers, to analyze the world around us, to come up with our own perspectives and our own views. And it is unacceptable that there are students living in fear in their educational facilities when that's what they're there for, to be able to express their own opinions. So I am just expressing my concern. Students at Cerritos Community College are coming up with ways to support the students. and students in LA Community College District as well. So thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you. No other members of the public on non-agenda items at this time? No other business before the board. Our next regular meeting of the Board of Trustees will be held on March 25th here at the Liberal Arts Campus. Closed session beginning at 4 o'clock, open session beginning at 5 o'clock. If there are no other business before the board at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And without objection, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Good night.